Everything that we teach you here at Creating Champions for Life is principle based, and we can 100% guarantee amazing results no matter how bad things may seem right now. Are you looking for more cooperation? Wouldn't it be nice if you spoke and your kids just jumped to the pump and said, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, get right on it? We would love to show you, actually, we're going to be talking about today guiding behavior versus punishment, so we can show you how you can have more fun with your kids and you can live in more peace, harmony, and happiness. Everything that we teach you here at Creating Champions for Life is principle based, and we can 100% guarantee amazing results no matter how bad things may seem right now. So I want to say that Thomas and I have a combined experience of more than 60 years in the realm of personal development, in human potential. Thomas actually in 1994 got his black belt in Taekwondo and made a decision that he was going to do the opposite of anything negative when it came to teaching white belts, working with children from ages 2 to, I believe, all the way up to 18. He has taken children that have the worst cases of behavior, disruptive behavior, kids that were getting kicked out of traditional daycares. He was able to take those children and guide them and basically developed a reputation of fixing the kids. So he literally had hundreds of moms eventually come to his school and go, can you fix my kid? Can you fix my kid? And, you know, I'm going to maybe let him talk about his story a little bit, but I met him in 2011. I was at the top of my game in business as an entrepreneur, as a leader. I had more than 10,000 people in my team. I used to speak on stage at the front of the room and tell people, you were born perfect in every way, conditioned into mediocrity. And I knew that if I did too much for my team, if I basically treated my team anything other than with a massive amount of respect and love and guidance, I would lose them and they would never rise up to be all that they can be. But when it came to parenting, I was learning from Super Nanny. I was reading books like Kids Are Worth It from Barbara Coloroso. I was learning lessons from like Love and Logic, Dr. Spock. And if you ever use timeouts or takeaways to teach your children, if you ever been taught redirect, entertain, distract, walk away, or just ignore poor behavior, these are the parenting strategies that I was following before I met Thomas. And my kids were ages 6 to 12 in 2011, and they were all being diagnosed with different behavior disorders and mood disorders like ADHD, oppositional defiant disorder, anxiety, and depression. And when Thomas and I met, we were like putting together a workshop called Foundation for Life, and he lived in Seattle and I lived in Canada. And I said, hey, do you want to come to Canada and help me put together this workshop? And when I saw him interacting with my children, I went, oh my gosh, like, where did you learn to talk to kids like this? And so I implemented his strategies that he used in his Creating Champions for Life award-winning after-school program in his martial arts school that was also licensed as a nonprofit daycare center. I practiced it in my home with my children, and I went from being the oh gosh, I don't want to say worst parent in the world, but like really, my house was chaotic. It was a mess. I used to come home. My kids would be just like laying all over my couch, taking over my office on my computer. And I would just go to my bathroom and lock the door and cry because nothing I did worked to gain cooperation. And I went from that to using his techniques and strategies. And I just saw a complete 180 transformation with my kids. They became engaged in life. They had a new zest for life. They became more cooperative. They started getting along. And when you have 4 kids, like age 7, 10, 12, and 13, you can understand that when I say my house was chaotic, it was completely chaotic. So anyways, after 6 months, and I just couldn't find anything online that was at all close to what Thomas was teaching, I made a decision to walk away from my business team and bring Creating Champions for Life to you and to every single parent in the world who is willing to listen.
Yeah, well, good morning, everyone, and thank you so much. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to give it back to Bonnie here, and I'm going to say I love Bonnie's dream. When she said she walked away from everything, she knew that every mother in the world needs to know that this at least exists, and that every child can know that they can be a somebody to go from can to can. And I have a dream. And this is exactly what Bonnie's story is all about to bring to life. Because if she knew that she could have been a somebody at the age of 12, when you know her story, she wants every child to know that they too, so they don't have to learn the hard way, they could learn the right way from the beginning. And that's what brings us here today, 11 years later, committed to one purpose, one dream, to bring Bonnie's sole purpose why she's here to life for moms around the world. So let's get started with how to guide children's behavior, a step-by-step instruction. This is going to be an overview. It's going to have the intention of bringing awareness of, I didn't know that, or, ooh, there's a missing piece that I was looking for. It's going to bring awareness with a call to action today that if you want more, and we do have a 1-year program, then you'll be able to know if you saw something here, you have a path that you can make your dreams come true also. Back to you, Bonnie.
Yes. Okay. So if you're anything like I was, and post in the comments if this sounds familiar to you. You take your kids to the grocery store, and where I'm from in Canada, when you take your kids to the grocery store, they have something at the bakery called a free cookie. And so what I used to do is I would take them to the grocery store. We'd go right away to the bakery. I'd get them all their free cookie. And then I would run through the grocery store as fast as possible before they started demanding things, arguing, being a pain in the butt. And we would run out of the grocery store as fast as possible. If you're with me on this, give me like a like or a comment and just say, oh yeah, that sounds familiar. Everything was reactive. Hey guys, come here. No, stop that. No, we're not buying that kind of cereal, right? Like, come be with me. Everything was no, don't stop, in reactive mode. That right there, being very reactive, is going to set your children and yourself up for failure, because I want you to imagine every newborn baby that comes into this world is born without any conscious idea of how the world works. In fact, if you look at like a 2-year-old or a 5-year-old or even a 10-year-old and you go, no, stop it, we don't do that, is that actually telling your child what you want them to do? And so we need to understand that babies are born with no neural pathways, zero life skills of how the world actually works. And so when we choose to be a parent and bring children into this world, the awareness that will be life changing for you right here in the first like 5 minutes of the presentation is that you have a role to play, and it's to teach your children life skills so they can know how to maneuver in this world with or without you. So this right here is going to be basically 6 steps, the step-by-step instructions on how to be proactive versus reactive, and how to guide your child's behavior to that harmony and peace and more fun that we were talking about. So in the middle, you have something called a goal. And now I'm going to pass it over to Tom right away, but as a mom, from one mom to another mom, don't we have goals when we go to the grocery store, like, or to a restaurant, or let's say that you want to have a private phone conversation at home? Regardless of what it is that you want to do, it's called a goal. So write goal in the middle circle, and this is going to be focused on mom's goal. Well, actually, you have something to add to that, Tom, too. So
Yeah, as we always go, it always starts about our goals, whether you're the little kids or the big kids, better known as adults. we have wants, needs, and desires. You know, we need food, clothing, shelter to make it as our base. But everything after that is called a privilege. It's not a right. It's something that you had to work for. You wanted electricity, you had to get a job, pay some money, and now you've got electricity.